A fella who presumably would make a lot of trips to Mackinac Island, maybe if he were elected governor, Rick Snyder, the Republican candidate, on the other end of our line. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
Have you been in that governor's residence on Mackinac Island in the past?
I have been in Governor Engler's area.
It's a pretty nice perk for the governor, although, when you're going to be very busy, would you make good use of it? Pete Hoekstra, during the primary process, had talked about actually selling it, and then he found out that you can't do that. It's a ward of the state. What's your take?
Well, yeah, it can't be sold the way it's set up. And as a practical matter, the issue is how do we make it effectively utilized in terms of making sure it's a valuable resource, and how can we leverage it in a positive way? When conferences are up there, can we do meetings there? What kind of events to give it good utilization? Just like every other asset in the state, we need to work our assets harder in terms of being more productive.
You're getting ready for your debate Sunday. The more conventional wisdom, if you will, is that, you're not nuts about the idea of debating. Some people say it's because Verge Bernero is a champion debater, was the state champion in high school, and that, you've got nothing to gain by debating him when you're 13 to 20 points up in the lead. Are you concerned about the debate and what it might do to the polls?
No, I'm fine with the debate. Actually, we started the debate discussion the day after the primary by sending a letter saying, let's do some debates. So I just view it as part of the process, and we'll go through the process. And the only thing I've talked about in the past is, in some of the earlier debates I've been part of, is they tend to deteriorate too much into, bickering and sound bites. And I don't view that as valuable in exercise. So we'll have to see how this one goes. I hope it stays on the substance of the need for more and better jobs in our state.
Have you been doing any debate prep, any coaching sessions, anything like that?
Well, you get ready for any event. So I've been, going through things as we do town halls and other things. We try to be thoughtful about, what could happen in the debate and in good shape for it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Have you had any rehearsals? Is anybody playing Verge Bernero in mock scenarios?
Well, I'm not sure how many people would volunteer for that job.
Sometimes, too, in the presidential debates and in the gubernatorial debates, they have a zinger ready, and they know that'll make copy the next day. Have you been working on a zinger?
No zinger lines. I mean, that's one of the issues. Like, as you said, Michael Patrick, of debates is sometimes it's more about the sound bites that come out for the press than the substance of what's really being discussed. And I hope we stay on substance.
Speaking of substance, what color tie will you wear?
Oh, there you go. Trying to find that one out. We haven't. Yeah. Well, you'll have to just wait and see what the dress code is for the evening.
Okay. In serious matters, the mayor, your opponent, the Democratic candidate, Verge Bernero, has been talking about biznobabble, is a word he used the other day to characterize the way that you present your case for the state of Michigan, your plan for the state of Michigan. He says that you use words like reinvent and change the culture, but there's no meat to the ideas that you float out, your 10-point plan. I've never heard the word biznobabble before, but he's been applying it to you.
Well, unfortunately, the mayor hasn't done his due diligence. I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to go there, but if you could go to rickformichigan.com, where we have our vision, our 10-point plan, there are significant white papers on each one of those 10 points. And you and I have discussed those before about how we had good groups of people put those together through the primary. We got outside experts to be part of the process, and they go through in a thoughtful way and talk about the problem, different solutions, and if you add them all up, they could be as much as an inch thick worth of good documentation on all those key points with very much substance, far more than any traditional political campaign would have.
Not biznobabble.
Not biznobabble. It's called substance.
Yeah. You're an Ann Arbor guy. Will you be at the Michigan State game this weekend?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've been doing good tailgating around. We went to Michigan State 2 weekends ago. We were at Western last weekend, and it's Michigan's turn, and good timing for Michigan State.
It's going to be a job. Probably, I think the record at that stadium is 113,000 people, and if you can get to 113,000 handshakes, well, you just might lock up the nomination.
Well, it should be a great event. We're going to have the RV there, so people are welcome to come by and sign it and such.
Oh, really? Where do you put the RV?
The RV will be, it's called the Blue Lot. It's across from the golf course in the lot near Chrysler Arena.
Yeah, okay.
There's construction there now, so it's a little farther away, but it's over by those railroad tracks.
Yeah. And it says Rick for Michigan. You can find it easily?
Oh yeah, the RV is pretty easy to spot, and you'll see all the signatures on it. We welcome people to stop by our tailgate and sign. We'll be there at least a couple hours before the game.
All right, I'll see you down there then. And thanks for the call this morning. Good luck in the debate this weekend, and we'll talk after it's over.
It's great talking to you, Michael Patrick. Take care.
All the best to you. That's Rick Snyder, a Republican candidate for governor.